Well, hello everybody. Today we'll be going over the long carry case designed for the crystal lights and to some extent for the crystal bed if you opted to get a long hard carry case for it. Now with this carry case, it's super rugged and durable and waterproof. It has wheels on one end, a carry handle on the other end, and then another carry handle to make it carry lengthwise. It also has 4 locking latches which have twist locks on them. So you just twist it 90 degrees and it'll lock down. And this one's fully packaged, and we will go over the unpacking and packing of it. So when you first open it, for this model, we're working with a crystal lights, so we already have crystals in place. Some of the options are going to change based on what is needed for that given product. So again, this one's for crystal lights. Initially, we have the light bar here, we have a tripod, we have some other miscellaneous things which we'll go over. So let's get started and take the light bar out. The light bar, you can just scoop it with both hands. I typically just try to grab it, pull it up cleanly. The next product that we're going to initially see is the control box for the tripod stand. Now the control box itself has a shoe on the bottom and durable metal top, and then the places to drop the arms into. In the carry case, you'll see these 2 white pieces. These are where the holes are. They line up with the holes here, and then it says place tripod shoe here. So basically you just stick it in as so. It's going to move loosely until everything's in place. We have a power cable for the power supply. We have some little goodies in these different bags. In this particular goodie bag, we have some spare parts, which we'll set aside right now, and we'll go over those in a second. But more importantly, we have a whole lot of rings. And these rings are designed to hold the crystals in place, which is on a separate video. Just know that we also provide extra rings, and all of that goes into this bag. And then the bag can gently be placed inside here. So we're setting these aside. Next item up for bids is the FiiO music player. Now, this can play music, but what we've done is loaded it up with special solfeggio tones and other pure sine wave tones to give a boost to the frequency, the PEMF coils that are around each one of these holders. So again, the FiiO music player is delivering frequencies to the PEMF coils that are around the crystals. And then we'll go into this little oval hole. We have a cable that charges the FiiO. We have an audio cable that goes from the FiiO to the control box. And then we have an information manual for the FiiO. Next item is a power supply which powers the control box and the lights and everything else. This is a special power supply. It has a very special plug to it. So if you lose this power supply for any reason, it's going to take a little bit of time for me to get another one sent out to you. You can't buy these at Radio Shack. We decided to go with that plug because it doesn't fall out accidentally the way some of the other plugs can do. And then we have the crystals. So these are 24-sided double terminate, and that's where those rings come into place. They sit in here, and then each one of these has their own special holder inside there. The next item is a spare Vogel holder. Now this one only goes on to one end that has the golden arrows on it, and there'll be a separate video on that. But essentially, every once in a while we find that for whatever reason, an electrical storm or some other malady happens, and one of the very first holder may burn out, which causes a cascade in the rest of the system, which is why we send you a second holder so you can pop that in and you're back up and running. Tripod. There is a very special way to put the tripod in. So with this tripod, we want to keep one of the three legs pointed up, the other two legs pointed down. So two legs at the bottom, one leg at the top. We also have some other bits and pieces on this tripod. Let's see if I can get this in closer. We have a little adjuster here and a little knob there. This head does not rotate. We've permanently affixed it because you don't need it to rotate. We do have some other parts to this, and the tripod is gone over separately in a different video. So we can just put this tripod back in and then reverse the course with everything. Now, if I was setting this up someplace, you know, I'm setting it up at a fair for the first time, I'm going to leave everything else in there. I'm going to grab the tripod first, set it up, then I'm going to grab the control box, and then the light bar. Now, seeing how the control box is underneath the light bar, I'm going to have to lift the light bar up and carefully move it so it doesn't hit the crystals, and then I can get to the control box. You may want to just set the light bar aside and do it that way, and that's fine too. So as we put things back in, that helps me pull this out. So put the rag over it so you can grab the top of it. You may not have a problem getting this out with or without a rag. I just have big fat fingers. So I like having the rag so I can just grab it and pull it out. Those back in. We're going to take the FIO. I like to leave the FIO in this bag so I can pull it out easily. And it just gives another level of protection. The extra crystal holder, or Vogel holder rather, you can just sit in there neatly. And these pieces down here, the cable here. Now we have this cover. Now we're going to quickly go over the light bar. As we have this light bar set up, we're going to move both these arms simultaneously. Matter of fact, let's close this up. So these two arms have these letter I blocks, and these are soft and squishy. And so what these do is go in between the two arms and hold them in place. And we're also going to have another Velcro strap right here to hold it all in place. But those two hold those arms in place so you can then freely move this around. When it comes time to setting up, set those aside, take the top one, rotate, twist like this. Up, rotate, and then you can drop this in place. So some of the parts are a little bit loose on purpose to make it easier to rotate and move around. So what I would recommend is that you take a couple of pictures on your phone to see how it all goes together. So when you're at an event, you don't have to try to do it by memory, but just know these silver pieces rotate towards the holders when you're packing it up. And then when you take it apart, they rotate 90 degrees. So that's how we get this all packed up. There is a little bit of wiggle room to get things set up, but again, this side is going to be higher than this side, so it's going to be crooked. Know that. The top part of the foam has been cut out to hold all of this in place. Simply close it. And then away you go. I hope this has been helpful, and we will see you in the next video.